Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at Viking Therapeutics. This was a stock analysis request from one of the followers, and I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now, in the case of this chart, we don't have too nice of a structure to the upside here. In the uptrend we have a three-wave pattern complete, and there is a significant risk that this entire structure may fail. We are always looking for the 5-wave move to the upside, and after we get that we will be looking for a correction in a three-wave pattern and then a continuation in that trend. The problem here is that to the upside we have formed a three-wave move in this structure. We have a three-wave correction, and then I suppose this would be expected to be some sort of a 5-wave move to the upside, something like this. But then I would consider this an ABC structure. We haven't even reached the ideal target for a three-wave or a third wave to the upside at 138.2% extension, which in the case of this chart is around the $190 level. We haven't reached that. And technically it does have all the signs of a full ABC pattern to the upside, which does come with the risk of expecting failure afterwards. But we can still track the possibility of a larger leading diagonal to be forming, and in that case I would be considering this a 1-2 setup, and then this would be the A wave up. I would be watching out now for a wave B correction and a C wave to get us to the ideal target afterwards in a wave 3. Now, in that case I would need it to hold the area of support for such an expectation, the area of support for a wave B, which in this case is between the $22.5 all the way down to the $4.7 level, and as long as we hold above the 78.6% retracement, we can still track this continuation to the upside in a wave C. But if we end up falling below that point, well, that would actually be a pretty good warning sign, a signal that this entire structure is more likely to fail than at the moment. Even now it doesn't have the high probabilities that we are always looking for, but it is what it is. And so far within this correction in the wave B, we have 3 waves down, which technically would satisfy all the requirements. We even reached the area of support, and we should be ready to push higher in a wave C to the upside. Now, I cannot exclude the possibility of continuation within this wave B to the downside, and we will be tracking this idea within the yellow interpretation, especially since to the upside from this bottom we have only formed a 3-wave structure so far. Something like an ABC could easily be counted in this area, and in that case we could still be looking even now for a direct push to the upside as part of at least a leading diagonal within a wave 1, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a wave 1, and then we have a wave 2 correction, and then continues in the 5-wave move to the upside in the larger wave C. Or it could be that this entire wave C in white is forming as an ending diagonal to the upside. Now, with that said, I won't concern myself too much with what is going to happen within the wave C, because at the moment I can be tracking here a possible ABC movement that I am expecting, and I am expecting at the moment still further continuation to the upside, because within or after this correction in a wave B, which is a 3-wave pattern, we can track a 5-wave move that has occurred afterwards, a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the 5th. And in that case, I am open to considering a 1-2 setup available here. And in that case, I would be watching out for support here in the area between the $32 level all the way down to the $25.9. Now, if we fall below the 78.6% retracement here, well, we would need to fall back to the other interpretation. Well, firstly, maybe a reset here in the wave B correction, although we pushed nearly towards the to the end of the support zone area. So if we fall below the 78.6% retracement here in the smaller time frame, it is likely not going to work out within this 1-2 setup. And if we fall below even the next one, well, it is likely that the wave B has already topped at that point, the wave B in yellow, and we have found resistance without pushing too much into this yellow resistance that we have between the $35.6 all the way up to the $70 level. And also keep in mind, this resistance, even if we push higher I would expect it to prove quite significant, especially around the last level here, because we do also have structural resistance, and it is quite, yeah, one of the more significant levels of resistance generally, the 78.6% retracement. And for now, there isn't much else to add. I suppose we could look for an ideal target for this correction, or yeah, this movement to push higher, which is at the 100% extension of the wave A, the $51 level. Also, additionally, I want to mention this push to the upside within the wave B in yellow could shift into something like a WXY, in which case, yeah, we would only need here to form an ABC, not the full 5-wave move to the upside. But for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.